thank you for tuning in to the Raymond Hall Show. I am your host, Raymond Hall, and we are here with another show that's going to be informative and we hope will help everyone to be a little bit more informed on all of the services and resources that's available in the community. We are honored to have as an in-studio guest today Kiera Pollock, and she is the director of the Senior Services Division at the Los Angeles LGBT Center community. It's all about service here at the Raymond Hall Show. You know our banner, service is a different conversation, so that's what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about the services that they provide there at the center. I have to say myself, I was very impressed with all of the things that you all do there at the service. Welcome to the show.
Thanks so much for having me on.
All right. We all, if you haven't been just locked in, we all have heard about the passing of Aretha Franklin. We're going to do a little bit more on the show later on in the show, but we do want to definitely mention the fact that she's been with me all of my life. You know, she's helped to do so many things, to be a voice for so many things, and we're just so thankful and glad that we have her. Thank you for being here again.
I really appreciate the opportunity to be here.
Yeah. I have to share something with you. We was talking about veteran services, and she just gave me some of the information that we just didn't know. Mm-hmm. Okay. So we're not going to prolong this. We're going to delve right into it. First and foremost, though, just give us just a little brief introduction of yourself. Tell us who you are and how did you come to be director of the center?
I'm extremely lucky to have the position that I have. My name is Kiera Pollock. I'm the director of senior services at the Los Angeles LGBT Center. Mm-hmm. We are the largest LGBT center in the world, so we're really proud of that. We have over 600 employees, and we're a private nonprofit organization that serves the entire community.
Okay.
In a variety of ways. So we have a federally qualified health care center, we have cultural arts services and legal services, okay, and a lot of different programs for everyone, but okay, we are largely based in Hollywood.
Okay.
I had the great opportunity about a year and a half ago of getting mm-hmm. the position that I have mm-hmm. of overseeing our senior services population, which is over 4,500 seniors in Los Angeles come into our programs and services every year.
Okay. Without a doubt, that's one of the largest senior centers. Mm-hmm. Or is it the largest senior center in the county of Los Angeles?
I don't know if it's the largest, but our membership is really high.
Really high.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. That is impressive in and of itself because of the things that you spoke about, and we're going to get furthermore into those things because it is very important. You talked about one of the first things we talked about was the legal services that you all provide. And one of the legal services that you provide is the services for veterans.
Yes.
Okay. Talk to us about that. I don't want to steal their joy. I would just, sure, I can only just repeat what little bit, but when you have the director here, you can just shut up and just kind of listen to what you have to say. So talk to us about the legal and how it helps veterans.
Sure. So I'll give you a little context, Raymond, just so you have a sense of it. So we have a large portion of primarily, but not entirely, LGBT seniors that we serve.
Okay.
And about 5 years ago, we were mm-hmm. finding that we were identifying more and more veterans that were coming to our program, okay, receiving services. And okay, we did a survey, and we identified that a large portion of those veterans who were coming to us were not receiving VA benefits. Mm. They weren't getting the benefits that they were entitled to for serving their country for many years, many of them wartime veterans as well. Mm-hmm. So we identified that they had a need based on the Don't Ask, Don't Tell policies that were part of the military, mm-hmm. That in many ways discharged many of those members without status, so right, that they felt that they weren't entitled to those benefits, and there was an enormous amount of shame for them around their military service and feeling like they weren't entitled to those benefits because of Don't Ask, Don't Tell.
Right.
So we knew that there was some legal needs that they had. immediately. So we were able to find a law project to partner with to assist us in trying to obtain and get those services back to folks after the Don't Ask, Don't Tell policy was overturned.
Okay.
So we were really excited about that. So we currently are partnering with LAFLA, which is an organization that provides pro bono assistance for veterans. They have a large veteran program to reverse those discharges, those less than honorable discharges that some LGBT veterans have as a result of their service.
Right, right.
And get those benefits back for them.
Okay. Now, a couple of things. Under the current administration, has things gotten worse? Or let me put it like this. Are you seeing more veterans discharged under the newer administration, or is it about the same and it's just, except for the hype, don't ask, don't tell is still the policy?
So I wouldn't say that we're seeing more people get discharged, but I think that we're experiencing more and more fear around the folks that are getting discharged. And we also are getting more and more calls and contacts from particularly trans service members who are currently falling under President Bush's, President Trump's new plan.
We should be so lucky as only
to discharge and keep trans service members out of the military and out of service. So so I think that is an area that we're seeing an increase of folks that are fearful, that are experiencing discrimination, and there's a lot of lawsuits, that are commencing to get that overturned. So we'll see how that plays out.
So the firm that has partnered with you, if a veteran identifies himself, they can come to you and through your center access those services through that law firm.
Absolutely, yeah. And they could do it independently of us, but we also connect them directly with that law firm as well. And then they also, LAFLA provides on-site legal clinics for us at our stand-downs, which are coming up.
Right, okay. And we want to mention that stand down often. We're going to keep going back and forth to that. So when is the stand down?
So our stand down is Saturday, September 15th from 10 to 3 at our location in Hollywood, which is 1125 North McCadden Place at our the Village at Ed Gould Plaza, where our main office is located.
Okay, all right. So when a veteran comes to your center and they so identify, are there specific services that, let's say that a veteran isn't aware of your center and the services that's provided, and let's say that they're having challenges. Sure. I'm a Vietnam vet myself, and I'm committed to helping as many veterans as I can. As I said, this program is about service and people who serve. So I want to commend you and commend your organization for the service that you all provide, because this active service people have been challenged for a long time.
Yes.
Okay. So to know that there's a place to go. So let's say that a veteran is not aware of your center. How do they contact or get in touch with you?
Sure.
Now we're going to have your, we actually have your information up and running. But talk to us about what is the process to come in. Is there an intake process? Sure. Those kind of things.
Yeah, so some folks will just call us directly, and we also have walk-in hours every Wednesday from 10 to 3 in our office. So people can just walk in at any time without an appointment, and they can meet with a case manager. They can register for our services, which are free. Okay. And at that point, they might check off that they're a veteran, usually on our form. And then usually we connect with them at that moment with a case manager and say, what kinds of needs do you have? Are you currently getting VA benefits? Okay. Are there ways that we can help support you? And then we talk to them about the services that we offer at that point.
So it's numerous services that's offered inside. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, how long does the process take generally for an upgrade for them to be able to be eligible for service? Is it independent based or?
Best case scenario could be 9 months. Worst case scenario could be 3 years or 4 years.
Well, that's still not bad compared to going to a lifetime without
Yes.
addressing
Yes.
the issue. Okay.
And they can be entitled to back benefits that they did not receive as well. So back to yeah. So and we've had folks obtain benefits from back benefits.
Back benefit. Okay. Everybody likes back pay.
Absolutely, they're entitled to it for serving.
Yes. Okay. All right. So now, is it a upgrade and discharge, or does it what is addressed? Mm-hmm. Does it simply upgrade the discharge, or does it do away with some of the things that a judge may say is unlawful?
So it can be either. So some of the easier cases, or if they were just unlawfully discharged because of sexual orientation, that's usually the easiest. But sometimes they're unlawfully discharged because of conduct unbecoming.
Right.
And so then we have to look at the circumstances of those things and sort of
Mm-hmm.
argue against whatever that conduct was.
Okay.
And that can be tricky because sometimes the ways in which those reports were written up were inaccurate or based on really homophobic assumptions of that time period, right? So we have to address how that played out and how it was written.
Right. I know the catch-all thing was that they could give you, sometimes you were given a questionable or illegal order.
Mm-hmm.
And you could question that, but the minute they say, I'm giving you a direct order, and you refuse that direct order, now the dynamics totally change. Mm-hmm. And it's not a question of the issue, it's a question of disobeying a direct order. Mm-hmm. And that's the issue before the mm-hmm. people, and that's what get a whole lot of people caught up. Mm-hmm. I'm just so excited about that because, I know there's a lot of people out there with less than honorable discharges.
Yes.
And to hear that you all have such a formidable organization to address that and the resources to address that was very exciting to me.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Anything that's around issues of sexual orientation, we're there to assist them with. We also, in our partnership with LAFLA, we have some folks that are veterans whose DD-214s show one gender, but maybe they've now transitioned because they're transgender to a different gender. We also can help them to change those discharges to reflect their new gender, the gender. Okay. So that's another piece that we offer to assist them with.
Okay. Those are highly specialized services because it's I've been around in the veterans community looking at benefits and services, a little bit better than 20 plus years now. And it's just really encouraging to hear that so many people are walking over into new frontiers to do things. We're going to make sure we put up that stand down as often as we can because we want everybody to be able to get it. Yes, there's the stand down that's going to be on September the 15th, and it's going to be 10 to 3. Now, will there be booths at that service to talk about the various things that's going to be done?
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll have a lot of different providers there, including legal providers. The VA has partnered with us on these stand downs, so they will be there to provide benefits and services and connect people with those benefits. Mm-hmm. So we're really glad to be partnering with the VA, with the West VA campus. Yeah. And they've been a really supportive partner to us overall.
West LA?
Yes, West LA.
They're really good to hear.
Connected. They do a lot of referrals to us when they connect with LGBT service members that need support. Mm-hmm. And they're really interested in getting more training and being culturally competent in the services that they do. So we're really proud to have that partnership. But we also have other kinds of legal providers, mental health care, benefits, folks that are doing BASH and other kinds of things. So we have a lot of different booths there. We also provide lunch, which is free. So, people can come in, and clothing and a lot of other things that we have in
Right, to stand down, Sarah. Yeah. For those of you who don't know, a stand down came out of Vietnam. And what it was that when you came out of the bush, you had a chance to stand down from that aggressive environment of combat.
Yes.
And you were able to come back and catch up with your mail and just do a few little things where you could relax and breathe. So you were standing down from that heightened sense of combat. And so they properly so named as homeless veterans found themselves still finding that feeling that they were in that zone, being homeless veterans. So the stand down was the place where they could come and be able to get the showers and shave and eat and have a warm place to sleep and everything. They were able to stand down from their homelessness. So now to hear everybody is providing these services at the stand downs, it's just really encouraging. We also have Compton, Charlie London, and we worked with her last year in helping to promote hers, and there's going to be an event for them in November, and we're going to be talking with someone from that organization later on as we promote theirs as well.
So we're really lucky because we're the only LGBT organization that supports veterans. So we actually go to the Compton stand down. We have a table there. We have a table there.
All right.
We will be at Fleet Week this year as well. Yes. So we actually go around to all of the other stand downs and have a table and have
That's
support and
where
information.
I met you before.
And because we really want to make sure that we're representing and supporting people.
Yes, yes. Well, Charlie London, Long Beach, I think her House of Worship is involved as well. A lot of people are involved in it, but and to know that you all are there, it's really something. They're off of Bullis, I think it is, somewhere around that area in the city of Compton. We're definitely going to be supporting your efforts there to make sure that we, from now to September 15th, make mention of it so everybody will put it on this calendar. We're going to take a really quick break, and when we come back, we're going to continue our discussion with Kiera Pollock, Director of Senior Services Department, and we're going to be talking about some of the other services they provide the LGBT veteran community there, as well as others. We'll be right back. Thank you and welcome back to the Raymond Hall Show. We're here with Kiera Pollock. She is the Director of Senior Services Department there at the LGBT Center. And what is that address again?
It's 1125 North McCadden Place in Hollywood.
I want everyone to, regardless of how you identify, I want everyone to take this information down. We are here to help all veterans, and you may not know of someone, but someone else may. We have a caller, so we're going to take this call, and then we're going to come right back with Kiera. So let's see who's on the line with us.
Hello.
Hello, caller. You're on the line. Mr. Williams, how are you doing?
How are you, sir? I hate to get off subject here, but, you know, we talked and we emailed, I wrote a text this morning.
Yeah.
First of all, thank you all for all your services that you do for the veterans. You say her name was Kiera, is that right?
Kiera, yes.
Yeah, thank you for your firm and all that you do for the LGBT community. And I'm glad all the veterans are getting what they deserve across the board. I had so happened, I'm a little off subject here, but Raymond and I both from out of Memphis, Tennessee, and we lost a great icon today, Aretha Franklin, and that's why I was calling to say everybody keep her family and the rest of the world in their prayers. I just got in from Detroit. I was there last week, and we lost a good one.
Okay.
So,
well, first and foremost, thank you for calling in, and it's good to hear your voice again. I want to share with the audience that don't know Mr. Williams. He's one of the great music icons out of Memphis, Tennessee, legendary disc jockey, and he continues to be involved in the music community today. He has helped me enormously as I try to act like I know what I'm doing.
You do well.
Yeah,
you do well. Basically, you and I were back and forth in terms of Aretha Franklin's bio, and yes, she was born in Memphis.
Yeah, you told me that. I didn't even know that. I thought I had the opportunity to meet. Wait a minute. I had the opportunity to be in a room with her early. Late 60s, early 70s, I can't remember. But I was in the room with her and her dad, Reverend Franklin. And the way he talked, I thought he owned Detroit. I thought.
Yeah, well, you know, it happened. She was born in Memphis, and as a young girl, I think they moved to Detroit. I was in Detroit, and they gave a brief sketch of her bio.
Okay.
Just to give you a little background, I'm going to get out of the way of you guys because you have a great subject that you are talking about today for the veterans. It just so happened it was the day that she transcended. We came from Memphis, and Memphis has the first black radio station in the nation, WDIA.
Right.
And you mentioned my background. I grew up in Memphis, and all we knew was WDIA in terms of the segregated community that we came up in.
Right.
From Memphis, there were a lot of entertainment icons that came out. A lot of them migrated back in the 50s, and they would come to Memphis to the radio station there, like B.B. King and from outside of Memphis, and some of the other blues singers from down south. They would come there to get a break on Beale Street.
Right. Right.
A lot of people asked me about Elvis when I came to town, and I said, yes, but he was out of Tupelo, Mississippi, but he claimed Memphis as well.
Right.
But this is in memoriam of Aretha Franklin, and she was the Queen of Soul.
Right. Well, we're going to pay a tribute to her in music and song, and I think it's one of the most fitting and memorable songs. It's one of her more iconic classics. So we're going to pay a tribute to her a little later. Mr. Williams, thank you for calling in, and glad to know that you're back at home, and I look forward to someday getting you in here in this studio. And while I have you on, I want to say hello to my mentor and friend, Mr. Johnny Morris. Continue to get well, my friend, and we all love you. And we will talk to you, Mr. Morris, a little later. Mr.
All right.
Williams, a little later.
All right, I'll give you a call later. Thank you all for your service.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. Mr. Williams is one of those persons that helped to move the city through music.
It's amazing.
Yes, it's just absolutely amazing. Okay, so let's talk about the supportive housing. You all have a formidable housing
We do.
program service. Talk to us about that.
So one of the things that we offer is we were the first provider of LGBT senior affordable housing in the nation,
Wow.
which we're really proud about. So we have Triangle Square Apartments in Hollywood, which is 100 units of housing for low-income seniors, 62 and over.
Okay.
So it's affordable housing. We have some veterans also in that housing, and then we are in the process of building another 100 units of affordable housing in Hollywood across the street from our village location where the stand down is being hosted.
Okay.
So
Now, is it income based or is
it is income based,
income-based?
and it's 62 and older.
Okay.
And we will accept VASH vouchers in that building as well. So if people want to, come into it once we get to an application process, we won't be open for about 9 months.
Okay.
Or so
For the other 100.
For the other 100.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. That's really impressive. Now, remember last week we had the Long Beach VA on, and I was really impressed because we tend to think sometimes that when we talk about homeless, we're talking about ambulatory people. They provide housing for persons that are spinal cord, sight challenged. Their policy, they work with the LGBT community. They just, as the Department of Veterans Affairs, it's the same old, don't ask, don't tell has trickled down, that kind of thing. And I really just have to commend Joe Gilliam, Miss Joe Gilliam, and Rhonda Bankford. And here we are. We want to promote the solutions, and that's what you're bringing to the table, to the solutions. We know the problem and the challenges are there, but we need to let people know that the solutions are there as well. So that's why it's so wonderful to have you here and talking. So you're the largest housing provider.
Well,
in the community.
I don't know if that's exactly true, but we are a large housing provider,
Okay.
and we serve anyone regardless of their sexual orientation, their race, and disability status, any of those things. Anyone can come into our housing. Absolutely, we're open to anyone applying.
Okay, and you have supportive services.
Absolutely, yes. And we've created, as I mentioned, so 5 years ago when we identified that we were seeing so many veterans in our program, we decided to really look at how to expand and create services to create community, because we really wanted to create a community. Within our community for veterans. So we established support groups. So we have twice a month a support group for LGBT veterans. And then in the last year and a half or so, we've established kind of social groups to keep people connected. So we have a pool tournament. We have, we're really proud of that. We have, we just started a color guard. So we have an LGBT color guard, which marched together in the Los Angeles Pride Parade. This year for the first time. So that's a big deal for us. We were really excited
That's
about
a big deal for everybody, color guard, because you get to I've had people to ask me what are all of the streaming ribbons from, and I let them know that it's from different campaigns and things like that.
I think we're the only LGBT color guard that I know of. If you can find one, let me know, because I've been looking.
I'll say this, just to have a color guard is really impressive. Yeah, so I am so very proud of you and proud of the center and you reaching out and providing all of the services that you all do provide.
We have a Veterans Day celebration as well, where we have a lunch for all of our veterans. So we've been really expanding and just creating connections with within that community to really bridge the gaps, because many of our veterans feel very isolated. They feel a lack of connection.
Now, you have the number up there if you want to call in and ask a question. The number is 323-293-3375 if you want to call in here to the studio and ask a question. Also, follow us on Facebook and Twitter and iTunes. How can people follow you through the social media? How are you?
Sure. So the Los Angeles LGBT Center has its own Facebook, Twitter, all of the social media pages.
Okay. All right.
And then we also have a separate Facebook page that's 50 plus LGBT, which is what it's called, and it's a Facebook group just for seniors in our department.
Wow.
So yeah.
You all are really in tune to community.
Yes.
Wow, that is so nice. Talk to us about takeaway points. We definitely want people to remember the stand down. Okay, so if you have not made note of the stand down, we're going to be flashing that stand down up frequently, and we're going to be doing it on coming shows. There it is again on September the 15th. And you can always get in touch with Kiera there at the center, and they will be able to give you more information. Be supportive of stand downs. They're vitally, vitally important. They provide a strong service in the community. So we want to continue to support the stand downs, and equally as well, we want to talk about some of the other things, the older LGBT community.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do they require special services that we need to kind of keep focused on?
Well, I think that we know, of course, in terms of the larger issues that are affecting Los Angeles, that housing is a major crisis area, and that's true for everyone.
Yes.
Our community, any community,
community.
everyone.
Yes.
And certainly we also know from the last survey around homeless individuals that seniors increased to 22%. So we know that seniors in particular are in the middle of a housing crisis, and that's true in the LGBT community as well, which is why we're building housing as much as we can to try to meet those needs and make things affordable for folks. But outside of just housing, our LGBT community also experiences a lot of discrimination, as many other communities do. And folks, as they're aging, they might need to go into an assisted living or a nursing home, and they're more likely to feel like they have to go back in the closet as they go into those settings, because they feel like those facilities are not open or safe for the LGBT community, or they don't feel like it's safe for them to be able to be out amongst the other folks that live there, that they're going to feel discriminated against. So that's something that we experience a lot. And then our trans seniors are more likely to feel especially intimidated, like they can't dress in the way that they feel the most comfortable based on their gender, and they're often misgendered by people in those communities and that work in those kinds of facilities. So we're always we're available to do cultural competency training for those facilities. We do that for nursing homes and assisted livings and other kinds of settings that serve seniors, to try to just get staff and communities more on board with, how to ask the right questions, how to be inclusive, how to be supportive of people in those facilities so that people can feel safe. Yeah,
that was my next question. Do you all reach out when you hear about something that's egregious in a place? Do you all reach out to try to address that issue?
Yes, and we offer training for those facilities specifically.
I would like to see more communities open their doors to the discussion. Have someone to come into the community to talk. You don't know who is among you, and you don't know who can be helped that's among you. But if you extend an invitation for somebody to come and speak, then you possibly would be enriching your community just by helping someone else.
Absolutely. And I think, I mean, being a veteran in service, there's a lot of silence around any, around sexual orientation, right?
Yes.
And a lot of fear and a lot of discrimination. So
yes.
anytime that we have the opportunity to bring that out and talk about it honestly and openly, I think we create more of a culture within the veteran community of acceptance. And I think we're moving toward that in the world around us.
People don't want to talk about it, but that was a big elephant in the room when I was in service. And I was in service in the early 70s. And it was just, I'm thinking of one young man that didn't make it through, and I'll leave it like that, but he's no longer to this earth because of the taunting and the things that was said or done, allegedly. And I'm glad to see that time moves the paradigm, that time moves it to where we can all now sit down and talk about things and people can get the best out of their life.
Absolutely, yeah. I think things are moving in terms of that. I mean, I think, as we looked at politics this year and the Trump administration attempting to ban trans service members, what we also saw was that the greater VA actually said, no, we don't want you to do that.
Right.
So,
well, I think everybody told him, no, he don't care.
Well, I know. But I think it was a big shift to be able to see an organization as large as the Veterans Administration say, no, we're not in favor of that policy change.
Kudos to the VA, because we've seen the VA shift. The VA used to be the place that you didn't want to go, and now the VA is the first place that some vets want to go.
Absolutely.
And again, the people that provide service at the Gardena VA clinic, the people that provide services there at Long Beach and West LA and that kind of thing, we're just absolutely elated that they're there.
Absolutely, and I think there's just been a sea change. The Secretary of CalVets, Dr. Imbasciani, did a video this year talking about Pride Month and how important it was for veterans. And I watched his video. He's coming to our stand down in September.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, he's making opening remarks. So, I think it shows again that change for the head of CalVets to be able to really provide support to our community as a whole.
And they're formidable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because the housing program that they have, the purchase housing program that they have is better to me than what the federal VA offers. The VA offers just guarantee a loan, where the CalVet is going to help you buy that home at a certain rate and that kind of thing. Okay, so we've covered the social support and the housing. Let's talk about cost of services, confidentiality, that kind of thing.
Sure. So we provide case management to anyone that needs it within our department, and that's confidential. We don't share anything with anyone unless someone agrees to that. And then all of our services are free or very low cost. So we have about 150 different activities at our senior center every month. So everything from yoga to dance classes to movies, and we have a bowling team. We have a lot of different things that we offer.
Now give us the address one more time.
So it's 1125 North McCadden Place in Hollywood.
Okay. And the telephone number where they can reach out to the center?
Sure. It's 323-860-5830.
And your hours?
We're generally open between the hours of 9 and 5, but then we also have some evening events and activities in our calendar that once people become part of our group, they enroll in our services, they can sign up for anything that they're interested in.
Okay.
So.
You see they're very active in the community. If you have an event, extend the invitation.
Mm-hmm.
Because in extending an invitation, we're going to build some bridges, and we're going to connect with some people and services and those kind of things. And you want to do that. That you know, if we as communities were to connect, some of the stuff that you're seeing, you won't see. I had a friend laughing because my mother used to tell me, "Don't judge a book by its cover." And I have to hold up my hand when Miss Omarosa first went to the White House. I was looking at the cover of the book because I'm like everybody else. Oh, my goodness. And I actually, not everyone agrees with me, but I actually think that she's brilliant. She sat down and learned from however we feel. The man is a master, whether he's a master truth teller or a master liar. He's a master at whatever he does. But I give her credit for learning and studying under him and using that playbook. You're much too young to know about Vince Lombardi and all of the great football coaches, but they had these playbooks that they could just run a play over and over and over again, and it just would beat everybody. So she has this playbook down, and she's running this playbook, and it's helping all of us because she actually have supported facts. Okay. Get involved to make sure that you extend invitations that connect bridges from your house to other houses, from your community to other communities. Now that's going to lead us into voting, because that's what this thing is all about. So now talk to us about, do you all have certain initiatives to say about voting, to things like voting, or is the material there available for them, or what?
I mean, we support, of course, voter registrations. We do voter registration drives and things like that. But as a nonprofit, we can't have a partition opinion on
none of us can. Yeah.
individual candidates in any way.
Right.
So
well, nor can we, and that's just the way it is as a nonprofit. Church is a nonprofit, and I'm a part of a couple of nonprofit organizations, and we can't take opinions either.
But that being said, there are policies and legislation that sometimes harms our community. So we're actually in the process right now of doing a postcard action to the government specifically about a proposed change to eliminate hormone treatment for trans veterans, as an example. So that's also one of the things that the president is trying to move forward, and for trans service members. So we're actually doing a postcard action right now in our program to oppose that specific plan.
So there's a number of reasons for people to vote. That's the point that we're trying to make here.
Definitely.
Everybody exercise your right to vote. Everybody exercise, everybody come up with your own reason to vote. Okay. And then we'll all be okay. I am so happy to have you here in the studio. We are going to we want you to stay with us.
Great. And
we're going to extend another invitation for you to come back and give us a report on this housing and the veteran benefits. I've talked ever since we talked, and I have not found anyone that can match you all's effort, legal efforts that you provide veterans. We know the VSOs, the Veteran Service Organizations, are out there and those kind of things, but to have yours as a part of you all's program plan, that's really, really impressive. So we want to do that. We're going to take a quick break, and during this break, I think we're going to take a little longer break, and play a little tribute to Aretha Franklin. We'll be right back.
Aretha Franklin to sing My Country, 'Tis of Thee.
And we are back. I think that there's no fitting song than that song where she sung at the inauguration of former President Barack Hussein Obama. Aretha, normally here at the Raymond Hall show, we will stop and give a senior salute. We either do a senior salute ceremony where we recognize people who are still with us, or we do a ceremonial salute of people who has passed on. Aretha Franklin, your gift and your service to us all through your voice, through your commitment, through your donations, through your love, has enriched not only a nation, but has enriched a planet. So we here at the Raymond Hall show just want to stop for 1 second and say thank you. And we, a nation who love you, bestow this salute to you in gratitude for the service that you have given to the world. Remembering Aretha Franklin, we love you. We'll be right back with our caller. Well, we won't. We're going to go straight to our caller. And caller, you're on the air. Hello?
Hello.
Shirley, Carla, how are
Yes.
you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a treat for you. I was sitting here talking to Kiera, and Kiera said something just off the spot, and it fits this moment perfectly. She said that the church was the first Community Center. Okay. So we want to acknowledge Grant AME Church. This weekend, they will be celebrating 112 years. And I invited the coordinator and the person designated to put that community celebration together to come on the show and talk to us about what's going to be happening in the community to celebrate Grant's 112th anniversary.
Okay. Well, we're very excited about what's happening this weekend. We're celebrating 112 years of Christian service in our community. So we're celebrating it for 2 days. We start Saturday, which we're having a homecoming reunion. So we want everyone from the neighborhood, members, previous members, to come back and join us on our parking lot, where we're going to have lots of fun, a day of fun from 12 to 4 o'clock.
Okay, now where is that parking lot?
The parking lot is Grant AME parking lot.
And where is it located?
10435 Central Avenue.
Okay, that's 10435 Central Avenue in Los Angeles, and I'm going to help along. I read it and I got hungry. On Saturday, they're going to have a talent show, and they're going to have food. Now the food is going to cost you something. You know, you can't go nowhere and get good food for free. So,
but it's reasonable.
It's reasonable, good.
It's reasonable.
All right. So they're going to have food. That's fish and barbecue and all that kind of stuff. And you're going to have karaoke and games and
a talent show. Anyone who wants to participate can feel free to participate. We're just going to have fun. We're going to mingle, have Christian fellowship with one another. Hopefully we'll see people that we haven't seen in a long time. And we're just going to have a good old family fun.
Okay. Now, I want to extend something to you. Grant AME Church is 112 years old. AME stands for African Methodist Episcopal. The church started out of a need for a people. We're here today with Kiera Pollock, and she is the director of Senior Services Division at the LGBT community. Now, you're wondering, Raymond, why are you bridging these two? Remember, the AME Church started because there was a need for a service for African Americans to be able to worship their God like others worship their God, without interruption, without discrimination, without aggression. Okay? We're not just asking the worshipers to come out, the community to come out. This is the whole celebration of what service is about. So the community, if you have to drive across town and say, I want to connect with an organization that has stood in this community for 112 years. Think about 112 years. Go back and look at your book of history of 112 years. See what has transpired in 112 years that you haven't had to deal with anymore. How many of you still got an outhouse in your house? None of you. How many of you still got a horse in the barn? None of you. Well, Grant is still there. Grant is still there. So if you come for spiritual uplifting, come. If you come for connection, come. If you come for food or just to say, I want to be a part of a community gathering, come. Now, who is I shouldn't ask that question. I'm going to put this out there another way. I'm not going to have him looking at me strange on Sunday. Pastor J. Arthur Rump is the senior pastor at Grant AME Church.
Reverend Dr. J. Arthur Rump.
Okay, I stand corrected. I'm not the most politically correct person. J. Arthur Rump is the pastor of Grant AME Church, and we want all of you people to come on to the church and participate in those church activities. Shirley, we thank you so very much. And
Ms. Charles, can I put this out first?
Can you what?
can I say this and then
Sure, go
I'll
ahead.
be quiet. One of the themes of our reunion is nurturing the seeds, and we're very excited about this, and we want to thank Reverend Rump for allowing us to do this.
Okay.
But we have one of our own homegrown young man that is now, he's gone into, he's a preacher.
Okay. Shirley, I hate to cut you off, but we got 2 minutes,
Okay.
my love.
Okay.
Mr. Philip Ross is going to be the keynote preacher for
Reverend
Sunday.
Philip Ross.
Okay. All right.
One who wrote the church.
Thank you so very much.
Okay.
God bless you. Have a wonderful
God
evening.
bless you.
And the community, we want you to go out and support that event. 112 years is a long time. Thank you so very much.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Well, that 3 minutes went long. Well, okay. Now, so we're back, and we want to close. This hour just goes so fast. So I'm going to give the last minutes or so to you to talk to us in closing. What would you like to share with us in closing here at the Raymond Hall Show?
Sure. So I would say, if you're a veteran, if you're looking for services, if you're thinking about a friend or a family member or someone else who you think may be LGBT that you want to bring along, connect them with our services, which are free and confidential and open to everyone, and come to our stand down on September 15th. From 10 to 3 at the Village at Ed Gould Plaza on 1125 North McCadden Place in Hollywood. Get some food, connect to some services, and really create community. That's what we're here for.
All right. Well, give us telephone number and email address one more time.
Sure. So to RSVP or connect with our services, 323-860-5830. or seniors at lalgbtcenter.org.
Okay. Well, we want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in to the Raymond Hall Show. I am humbled by the fact that you will take the time that you have been given in this life and spend part of it by listening to the show. We hope that the information that we provide is something that would be useful to you. But here's the message. Service is a different conversation. To those men and women and all of those who identify serving around this globe, we are at liberty and we understand the valuable service that you provide. We thank you. For the men, women, and those who identify as they identify here on the homeland who are providing services, we thank you. This is the Raymond Hall Show. We hopefully will see you next week at the same time from 2 to 3. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and iTunes. Have a good evening.